Yeah, well, first, before I answer that, I just want to thank Elaine and Michelle, for their hard work. They worked hard at this and put a lot of time in. They're good people, good coaches, and it's certainly not been doing this a long time, and these days aren't a lot of fun. In terms of your question, right now we're, I guess the whole goal through this was I was hoping we could get some people back and get our group together and find out what we have but we just keep digging a bigger hole right now. So, as a group, we got to get back to, we got to find an identity. We got to start to play the game the right way. To me, our process has been off all year, and I've asked Mike to come in and he's a detail guy. He's had some success in this league, and right now we got to forge a new identity. We got to learn to play the game the right way, and we got to get guys buying in. So, it's a tough day today, but hopefully this is a new beginning as well. Yeah, last week I talked about buying time and trying to find out what we are, but it's this, I just felt watching our team last night that we needed to make a change. We need to find a way to spark change with our group. And in an ideal world, we could have bought more time and waited, but I just felt we couldn't wait anymore.
Chuck, you talked about finding an identity. Do you think you can find one with this group, or do you think you have to make changes in personnel?
Well, we made a lot of changes in personnel last summer, and I do believe this group can be a better team. But right now, I just think it's everything. I just think our details are lacking right now. Obviously, our confidence is lacking. Guys are struggling. They care. They try. But right now, I just feel that Mike can help us get back to the identity we need to have to win games.
Was there any hesitation to pull the trigger in the middle of back-to-back 5 and 7 road trip at the end of the week?
Yeah, I mean, Taryn, there's always hesitation. I mean, AV is a good coach. Mike Terrian is a good coach and a good friend, and this is not what you're looking for, but there's never a good timing to do this, and I mean we're all complicit. I mean, as I said last week, I'm the one that's ultimately responsible, but at this point it just we need to affect change. We need to play differently, and now's the time. That's a hard question, Charlie. I don't know that. I honestly don't know that. I think, I certainly know that he tried, and certainly you go back to the 1920 season, his message was really well received. We were a really good team, and right now we've lost our way, and that's what we have to find out how good our group is, but we have to get guys playing better, playing a little bit differently, and right now, I think a new voice is needed.
Chuck, this franchise has won one playoff series in 10 years. What are some of the problems with it that go beyond just who the head coach is?
Well, I can only speak for the last few years, and 2 years ago we did win a playoff round, and we got to Game 7 in the second round. We lost to a pretty good Islander team. We played hard. We played with structure, and I do think we have good players. We have good people here, and everybody's trying. And, again, I can't speak for the last 10 years. Most of these guys haven't been here that long. I think only really Giroux and Couturier have been here that long. But, to me, it's the process right now isn't right. We have to get back to playing the right way and defending a little bit better. And the details in our game have to be better, and that's what I've asked Mike to do. And Mike, in my opinion, is an excellent coach in that regard. And he has the ability to get these guys playing better.
Chuck, you said to me our process has been off all year. Can you explain that a little bit more specifically and how you'd like to see it change?
Just the details in our game, whether it's our forecheck, whether it's defensive zone coverage, whether it's our transition game. I just would like to see some changes in how we play the game. And you know, obviously, you know, the coaches were trying, everybody's been trying, but I just think at this point we need a new voice and a new approach.
Chuck, are you giving Mike the chance to finish out the season, or are you going to start the hiring process right now?
No, I'm not starting any process right now other than trying to get this team back on track. And I've spoken with Mike, and he knows there's no promises going forward, but he has his hands on the wheel now, and it's his opportunity to help this team get going in the right direction. And as I said last week, I still don't know truly what we have here, what our group is. And, you know, as we go forward, I think things will become clear what we need to do. But the focus right now is not on interviewing people and rushing to hire a head coach. It's right now to support Mike and get this team playing the right way, and then we'll make the decisions that we have to make at the right time.
Mike, I know you haven't had a lot of time to think about it, but what changes do you think you're going to implement, and who will be the power play coach?
Yeah, you're right. I haven't had a lot of time to think about that. I can tell you that Daryl tonight will be running. Daryl Williams will be running the power play meeting, and but again, Chuck and I haven't even had a chance to discuss anything with staff. Let's say we both had the same thoughts. Let's get into tonight. Let's do what we have to do to make sure we're ready to go, and then we can start to talk about some of that stuff afterwards.
Like, is it difficult to, you know, get a chance like this, but then your friend is let go, and now you've got to rally behind, these players rally behind you. You know, how difficult of a situation are you put in?
I can tell you that I didn't sleep very well last night. It's it's a very, very emotional day for me. Both of those guys treated me unbelievably. AB, I have a ton of respect for him, and he was really, really a great person to work with. And Mike, my history with him goes back a long time. So that part, I'm still a little bit emotional about it. But that said, like being a member of this organization is really special to me. And to be a Flyer and now to have an opportunity like this, and to not only to stay on board, but to get this opportunity and to have a chance to turn things around and get things going the right way, that's also incredibly exciting for me too. So, 1 second my emotions are over here, and then the other they're over here. But that said, again, I couldn't be more excited for the opportunity. And obviously looking forward to tonight to getting going.
Like you were in a very similar situation to a few years ago in St. Louis, where you were relieved quarter of the way through the season.
Yep.
What did you learn from that experience to help you prepare?
I learned that it sucks. Obviously I've been on both sides of it. I had experience in St. Louis, I think, which could help this year in terms of. I was an assistant coach and took over that year, and we were able to get things going in the right direction, get guys feeling good about themselves, and build a game that we were able to take into the playoffs, win a playoff round. So I think I can lean back on that experience. When I was in Pittsburgh, I was an assistant coach for something similar that happened. We ended up winning a Stanley Cup that year. And I've been on the other side. And what that allows you to do is reflect. And obviously, since my last head coaching opportunity, I've had a couple of years to reflect. I would say I have a different perspective in many areas, but I also have a lot of belief in some of the things that I think that I'm strong at. So this is an opportunity for me to prove that I've grown, and I fully believe that I'm ready for that.
Chuck, how and when did you tell Elaine, and how did you receive it?
I spoke with Elaine this morning and Michelle. It's probably what you expect. You're really disappointed. Elaine came here to try, to win a Stanley Cup, and he's disappointed he wasn't able to deliver. And in turn, I'm disappointed too that I couldn't have done more for him to avoid being in the situation. But he's a professional guy. He's a classy guy, and we'll have a chance to have a more in-depth conversation later on. But I think they're both really obviously disappointed. You can see Elaine.
His responses: angry, surprised.
No, angry's not. I mean, we had a very rational conversation. So,
Surprised though, considering how things have gone.
I can't answer that. I don't know if he felt surprised or not.
Chuck, why was this decision made to relieve Michelle Terry of his duties as well, from the rest of the assistants?
Well, again, I don't know if there's any playbook for this. You just, you kind of go with what you see, and I just felt we needed, a new voice, and I just thought it was time for this to happen, and we're going to look at, finding somebody to come in and work with Mike and Daryl as well here over the next little bit, if we can find somebody to come in and help do some of the duties. But it's again, it's just, I guess, what I felt was a gut feeling.
Chuck mentioned that the process has been off all year. Having been here all year, what are some of the things that you're pinpointing and things that need to change for your team?
Well, the biggest thing for me is, having watched the Flyers, having coached against the Flyers, been on the other side when you come into this building, it's not fun. And we have to make sure that it's not fun for other teams, whether we're on the road, whether we're at home, to play against the Philadelphia Flyers. Does that mean that, we go out and fight everybody every shift? No, it doesn't. But it means that we're very hard to play against. And that can be, your physicality, that can be the way that you defend, the way that you pressure, the way that you attack, the way that you play as a five-man unit all over the ice, like Chuck mentioned the words details. There's a lot of teams out there that maybe aren't the most physical teams in the world, but they're very difficult to play against. So, that's where we're going to start. The way that we approach the game, we've got to be physically engaged, but we're going to defend, we're going to check, and the way that we're going to attack is it's going to be organized. We're going to be on the same page, and really, for me, I love to play with the puck. I want us to spend time in the offensive zone. I want us to grind the other team down. I want us to attack the net. And when we lose the puck, we want to get it back very quickly.
Take a few more.
Chuck, this is never a knee-jerk decision when you change the structure of an organization. How long have you been considering this move? Has it been weeks, days?
I wouldn't say weeks. I mean, we haven't won in 8 games. So when you're struggling to win games, you try to look at ways to change the narrative and get better. And so certainly it's something that as we've continued during this stretch, I've given more and more thought to what we can do to change the direction. And so I wouldn't say it's been weeks or months or anything, but certainly it's been something I've been thinking about for a few days.
Chuck, the best this team played under AD was that second half of 2019-2020. I guess you could argue that the round robin bubble was playing similarly, but really after the pandemic paused, it just didn't seem like the team controlled play the way that they did during that last stretch. I guess, do you think something happened during that period that made the message does not work as well as it did during that 2-3 month period in the second half?
Yeah, no, it's it's a fair point. It's a good question. Clearly, we're chasing a lot of games right now. We're whether we're falling behind in games or we don't have the puck enough for sure. We're defending too much. Last year we've been through it. I'm saying this in all sincerity. Last year was such a crazy year. I don't know. Just the environment around the game. We obviously didn't handle it very well. I've said that repeatedly. We got knocked down by COVID pretty hard. I think we had some players really struggle on and off the ice. So I didn't know if that was a one-off. We came into this year, we made a lot of changes, and I just thought we'd be able to regroup and be quite a bit better than we were last year. And the first 10 games, as I mentioned to you guys last week, I know, to me, we didn't have the puck as much as you'd like. We were defending too much, but I saw a lot of positive signs. I thought we were doing things better, whether it was goaltending, PK, defensive zone structure. The group cares about each other. There's good chemistry. This isn't a case where the room's falling apart. There's no factions in there. So there was a lot of positive signs. Yet I knew we had to build. And then, and before this 8-game streak, we were in a playoff spot. We weren't playing perfectly, but we were a decent team, a decent team that needed to get better. And now we've just completely lost our way. And there's process. Now you got confidence. I'm sure you guys saw the game last night. I mean, we gave ourselves opportunities to have all kinds of scoring chances, and guys are squeezing their sticks, maybe hesitating a second. The shot gets blocked, or you pass when you should shoot, and guys are, clearly there's not a strong self-belief right now, and you give up a goal, then you give up a second one, and you can just see the air come out of the tires, and so. I don't know. That's why I said I really was hoping to buy some time here to get this group a chance to get out all the pieces, get guys going, but whether the timing's right or wrong, and this is a decision I made today, and this is where we're at, and I believe Mike has the ability to, as he mentioned there when he took over in St. Louis, they won 22 of the last 32 games, and they knocked my team out in the first round and lost to a pretty good Nashville team in the second round. But that team played hard. He got them playing the right way, and I believe he can do that here again.
Like, given the schedule and logistics of this week, what's your plan of attack for trying to implement the changes that you've spoken of wanting to make?
Yeah, well, we have to be smart as a staff. I mean, if we come in there tonight and show how we want to make a ton of changes, then we're going to play slow. We're going to be thinking and reacting as opposed to being on our toes. A lot of it for me tonight is a little bit more about attitude than it is about the X's and O's. It's going to take a little bit of time. We don't have a lot of practice time coming up, and again, you can't just. It's not a matter when you're talking about being really good at your job. It has to be habit, and that's what we're going to start working on, is building the habits where when you get that, you have trust that everybody else is doing their job, and you play faster, you look faster, and again, you're harder to play against. So tonight, we're not going to make a lot of big changes, just because I don't think that's the right approach for this game tonight. But in terms of the attitude that we bring, we're going to be ready to compete. We have to make sure that we have sort of a next shift, next play mentality. If the other team scores first, we can't just all of a sudden fall apart in our game. We have to start believing in ourselves that, if we compete and battle and play the right way for 60 minutes, that we'll have the right result at the end of the night. So that's going to be a little bit more our approach tonight. And again, the message to the players this morning and going forward in this next little stretch is this is an opportunity for us to start building our game. That's the most important thing. We can talk about where we want to be at the end of the year, playoffs, or, everything else. We're not going to get there unless we start building a game that we play consistently. And when you do that, you're going to start building confidence in that.
One or two more.
Chuck, two quick questions. Do you think this is still a playoff team? And you've now had 6 head coaches in the last 8 seasons. Is that because of the coaching, you think, or because of personnel?
Well, again, I haven't been here 8 years, so I don't know. AV was my first big hire, and as Charlie mentioned earlier, we had a pretty good stretch there in 1920, and we weren't able to get it back. So, it's a combination of probably everything, but I can't go back beyond a couple years. But right now we've lost our way. There's no question, and it's not just all on AV or Michelle. It's on all of us. But I needed to make change, and this is a decision I made today.
Do you think it's still a playoff team with the personnel you have?
Well, that's certainly going to be our goal. But I think, as Mike mentioned, right now, it sounds like cliches, but we got to make sure the process is strong. We got to get back to playing the right way. If we do that, then we have a chance to be a good team, and we'll see. That's certainly our goal.
Like you said, the day was pretty emotional for you. Did you get a chance to talk to Elaine? Just what was that conversation?
I haven't yet. No. I saw Mike very briefly, but no, I haven't had that opportunity. But again, what I would say is thank you. He was nothing but outstanding to me, and I enjoyed every day that I got to work with him.
Last one. Okay, thanks,
Is
everyone.
this sort of built into your psyche as a head coach that you guys suddenly go on a losing streak and lose your job? That happened to you in Minnesota.
Yeah. Again, I've been on both sides of it, and I'm not a young pup anymore. You know, I've been around the league for a long time, so I've seen you know, obviously when times go poorly and why that is and how things can get turned around. What I do know is I like Chuck. I believe in this group. I really do, and I believe that we're in where we're going to get to. So I've learned, you know, for me personally, I've learned lessons from the past. You know, coaches can grow, coaches can learn. You know, Chuck had mentioned I've had some success, but for me, in my opinion, my best days are yet to come. And so again, this is a very difficult time. It's emotional, yet this is an unbelievable opportunity, and that's what all the players in the room have, is an unbelievable opportunity to turn this around. This is not a very good story right now this season, but the nice thing is we have the opportunity to change that, and so let's get to work.